G'day gamers, Ranger Tony here, back with more of our Baldur's Gate 3 high DPS Paladin playthrough. Yeah, when last we left off, we were here just outside the, I think it's called the Blighted Village, if I'm correct. We don't see it on the map yet, but, and we just saw these guys here, which were some of the adventurers who were at the Emerald Grove. They're the ones who needed rescuing outside of the Emerald Grove camp just there. Couple of things. I've had some people make some comments in the videos. Thank you very much for everyone who commented on videos. That's fine. Okay, so someone asked about these hirelings, whether we can respec them. And so I thought that would be a wonderful thing to try out. Because, quite frankly, I think we can go a little bit stupid here. So let's do it. Let's just see how nuts we can go with this party. We currently have 1,500 gold, so we have plenty of gold to go with. I might leave Madala, Deadeye, or whatever her name is, alone.
Fate spins along as it should.
Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps a resurrection instead? Very well.
I want to recruit a hireling.
Impossible. Thy party is full.
Gale can take a break.
As thou desire. Choose.
All right. Now, it's not going to matter who I choose. In fact, let's just take Eldra here. Venture forth. Now, if I choose Eldra and I have him come and talk to Withers...
in it.
Ah, another. I shall be here in thy camp for whenever thou hast need of my service.
Change my class. You can only change class. I can't change race. That's interesting. Maybe I can do that. No, I don't think I can do that through the mirror. That's fine. So we're going to go another paladin. And why not? Let's do Oath of the Ancients, even though I don't really care. Clear those, use recommended. That's fine. You're not going to be the best, but... And I'm not going to change any of that. Confirm. So now, if I level you up... Brilliant. We get to choose a fighting style. I'm going to choose dueling for you. And then we want to prepare some spells, and that's not a bad idea. Let's clear out all of these. I think we want the default Wrathful Smite, Thunderous Smite, Searing Smite. You can heal. And let's give you... I mean, someone did mention Command is useful to... you can, for example, make your opponents drop their weapons. Yeah, I mean, won't they just pick them up again? I don't know. Actually, Compelled Duel is probably not a bad idea for this guy. Go. So I'm going to have to get you some better gear. It might be worthwhile seeing what we actually have on the party, to be honest. Oh, look. Some scale mail. Have that. There we go. And I wish I had a shield, to be honest, because that's sort of what I want to give you. I want you to go sword and board. You've got a great axe and 2 hand axes. Hand axes aren't the best. But
fate spins along.
Dost thou require a new... Very well.
Let's just be...
Thou hast reached thy limit.
I have to... Oh, I can only actually hire 4 hirelings. Alright, screw it. I want to try this. Get rid of Madeline.
It is done.
Recruit.
Choose.
Can I choose Madeline again is question number 1. And I can. Brilliant. Question number 2 is, who do I want to take? I want... It doesn't... Look, it doesn't really matter. What I'm wanting to do... yes, let's take a halfling. And that's a Lightfoot, which is good, because they're the lucky ones. That's what I wanted. So we'll take you. And then we will swap you out. Change your class.
I shall be here in thy camp.
As thou desire.
And we are going to also make you a paladin. Let's go Oath of Devotion for you. And I think that's actually the recommended. 17, 12, 13, 18. Yes, it is. I don't care about any of that. Fine. Now let's level her up. So now we have a party of paladins, which, yes, is probably a very bad idea. You're also going to have dueling, or should I go protection? If you have a shield, impose disadvantage on an attack against your allies when you must be able to... This is a reaction or defense +1 to armor class while wearing armor. I think the dueling is better. I didn't mention what it does before, but that gives you a +2 damage with a weapon if you're using it one-handed. And you can carry a shield in your free hand and still gain this bonus. So I'm going to take that. And then we're going to prepare spells. Do I want... No. Actually... No, we'll stick with that. That'll do. Alright.
All's well that ends.
So, once again...
Not as bad as it could have.
You have a rapier at the moment, which is perfectly fine because that will give you the +2 bonus. That's not the weapon we ultimately want you using, and we want some better armor for you as well. Do we have anything in our traveler's chest? Or on anybody else in the party? I could steal Lazelle's Githyanki half-plate. Or... That's only medium armor, though. And you've just got barbarian clothing. Let's give that to me. Along with that. Let's see. You've got a shield. Wonderful. Yeah, not the greatest. You don't have anything. You don't really have anything except your armor. And I mean, it is good armor. Don't get me wrong. It's actually very good armor, but I don't know if I want to take it. Okay, what's in the chest? We've got... Oh, look at... No, it's leather armor, damn it. Chain mail. Very good. Brenner Bright Song, you can have that. We also have a long sword, which will do more damage than any of those other weapons. We don't have a... Oh, we have a scrapwood shield. That's better than nothing. And we also want one of those. Do we have anything in here? No, not really. I want to keep all of these letters, so let's put them away while I think about them. And the prayer sheet. And the Mind Flayer Parasite Specimen. And the Rites of Saloon. And the Idol of Saloon. I don't think I want to keep any of the rest of that stuff. Metallic gloves can go to Brynna. The pickaxe. Okay. Alright. I think that's actually quite good. So, you can take the pickaxe, which does way more damage, and the scrapwood shield. It won't let you take the scrapwood shield. The pickaxe is two-handed. Alright. Maybe you won't take that then. You can have that, and that. There we go. She's 18 armor class. Yeah, well, she's getting +2 from the shield, isn't she? I was going to say, she's got better armor than any of us. And you've got a light crossbow already. You can have a light crossbow. 1d6 +3 with the scrapwood shield. It's kind of the best I can do for the moment. Well, I can give you another longsword, can't I? Yeah, we'll do that. Send to camp, send to camp. All of these go to camp. You can wear those. Send to camp. Strange that these guys didn't get their book on the Paladin's oaths. But I guess that sort of makes sense. It's not what I wanted. Alright. What here do we want to put away? Let's put away that. Got lots of scrolls of Revivify. You can have one, and you can have one. Basic poison. I think it gave me all of the stuff that we had on the... Yeah, it did. It gave me everything that I had on the rogue hireling that we got rid of. Let's just send all that to camp for the moment. And that. Don't want the poison. I don't want that potion either, really. Most of these potions I will promptly forget about. We know me, this is the way I do things. Not intentionally, but it happens. Right, what we're going to do also is... I saw a video where someone had a really interesting suggestion. You've got this camp supply sack, right? And these are all of the foods that you're going to eat when in camp. Well, that I believe is contributing to the weight that I'm carrying here, or at least that's what they led me to believe. So let's see, does this drop down if I send all of this to camp? It does. So we don't need to be carrying all of that. And even everything in the alchemy pouch, well, maybe we'll keep that. What did I have in this pouch? This was... I mean, this is also stuff that I don't really need on me. I could just send that to camp as well and not worry about carrying it all the time. Right, let's have some fun. I think we've done enough in the camp at the moment. Everybody seems to be pretty well kitted out. I've got my two-handed greatsword. Kurz has his two-handed maul. Eldra, longsword, and a crappy shield, but it does the same amount of protection as that shield, so it doesn't really matter. And then Brynna has also a longsword and shield. Now the plan is going to be, this is all just being stupid by the way, I don't need to do a build like this, but the plan is going to be that we are going to make these guys our meat shields more than anything, because they've got the armor for it, while we just get into position to do critical hits. It's not going to be a big thing. I mean, we're going to survive no matter what. We're on the easiest level. But this sort of party build is not recommended because they say you should, you should have a diverse party. But I want to see how we go with all paladins. Now, this may be the last playthrough of this build, because there was a build that I really wanted to do even before I started this playthrough, and that is the assassin, because the assassin can do as much, if not more, damage than the paladin can. With sneak attacks, if you can get them set up correctly, sneak attacks will outdo any sort of damage that you can do, because sneak attacks, theoretically, you can sneak attack every attack as an assassin. Maybe not every attack, but if you can set things up correctly, you shouldn't have a problem sneak attacking quite a lot. Whereas the paladins only get X number of, basically however many spells you can cast per day, and at the moment we can cast 3 spells per day, which means, or 3 spells per long rest. That's how many times I can Divine Smite, right? So that has to be considered. Oh look, there's some dead bodies here. But let's just have a quick look at whatever else is around. That's right, there's some chests here. Let's have a quick look at them. A dagger. I don't want a ladle, and I don't want a broken loot, even though it's worth 25 gold, so we will take it. Take all of that, and I don't care about that. The burlap sack has got some potatoes in it, which we will send to camp in a little while. Traveller's chest. Another Traveller's chest, even though it looked like the same one. The Realm according to Bumpo. A mass-printed paper book detailing the adventuring experience of the fictional rube Gabbin Bumpo. I thought that said Goblin Bumpo. The book naturally falls to a dog-eared page in which Bumpo describes the most unusual race he's met in his travels. But they weren't half as strange as the bird folk. First, a Rockakara, I think that, I don't know, Arakokra, I don't know. That's right, there's one of those in the Dungeons and Dragons movie with Chris Pine just recently. Head of a parrot, the body of a human, the wings also of a parrot. I tried not to stare, but it was really hard. Turns out she was one of a motley party, cause around her table was a tabaxi catfolk, a genocide elemental folk, and a turtle folk. Trying to act casual, I asked what the hell they all were. They ignored me, but I can't blame them. To them, I wasn't looking off. I must have looked awfully dull and average, for they were the first of their kind I'd seen. But it was just one of a billion boring. But I was just one of a billion boring humans to them. Interesting story. I don't think I'm going to take any of that because it's not. Well, that book's worth 14, so maybe we'll take it. Anything in the barrel? Carrot. Garlic.
Something good here, I hope.
Lots of dead adventurers here. A couple of dead goblins. Goblin drawing. Those guys are gone. I didn't talk to them and now they're gone.
I'll take that.
Okay. Nothing. We all failed our perception checks. Well, something's going on here.
Moonhaven.
Alright, I know there's going to be a fight coming through here, so let's do this. Surprised.
Well, boys. Looks like we got ourselves a trespasser. Don't bother running. My archer's got decent aim and plenty of arrows.
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
Interesting. Either stand aside or I'll go right through you. Didn't really want to win that.
Hold up, lads. This one might be more than we bargained for. Go on, then. Just keep your nose clean.
Keep my nose clean, hey? Like rummage through your crates and stuff?
There we go.
Discover the waypoint. Very good. You got locked. Well, that's easy enough. Now, there's actually a couple of ideas here. This video that I saw, someone was talking about all this sort of stuff. I can just smash this, right? And get into it. And from what I've seen previously, I don't think breaking it necessarily breaks anything inside. I've broken other chests And I've also picked them and not seen any difference. But someone said that, well, if you can't pick it right now, or you don't want to take the time to pick it up. It will slow you down. But I thought, well, can I send that to camp? I can then pick that at my leisure in camp without having to worry. Damn it. That to that plus that. Send to camp. This is the next real big encounter. I don't know if this is going to spark off all these other guys in the area, but let's see.
Look what we got here. Another little birdie wanting to fly. Stop this thing! Flap those wings some more, and I'll feed you a worm. And you. Hope you got a stomach for heights. Whoa, quick, get him!
All right, I am first. Let's teach this guy
Try me.
a lesson. Did I miss? No. We did re-roll some of our damage there, which was nice. A 2, which re-rolled as a 2. Okay. Oh, and we had a chance to do Divine Smite. Yes, please. Here we go. One down. Let's get up in your face. I do have a pommel strike, so let's use that. And that did very little damage to him, so good. Why not? Let's use a Divine Strike as well. Killed him. Beautiful. We're so heavily outnumbered here that I want to do everything I
So
can.
much for peace.
I think you need to charge this guy. Oh, a rush attack. Yes,
Death won't take
please.
me yet.
What? Oh, damn it, I need to set up your Divine Smite option. She might have actually had an option to do a Divine Smite there. We have a bonus action. We can use Sanctuary or Compel Duel. Let's do Compel Duel against that warg so that we know where that warg's going to go. Well, mostly.
Blood follows me everywhere.
What have you got? Sanctuary. You or an ally cannot be targeted until you attack or harm a creature.
Magnificent. Time to push my luck again. What do I have to lose?
Damn it, I forgot to turn on that as well. Not that I think he could have done anything. Yeah, pommel strike him as well. And he's dead. Wonderful. Oh no, he's just dazed. No, think he is dead. Critical hit wasn't nice. And I missed. God damn.
Come on, can't stay idle.
That is not fun. Can't reach destination.
What path lies before me?
Another fight. Let's go.
Let's do a Divine Smite. Beautiful. Okay, this is it. This is where we find out. Oh, you're kidding. Look at that. Look at that. Hang on, that's not right at all. Okay, so we talked in the last episode about critical attacks. This whole build was around crits, right? With the idea being that all weapons in the game do double damage when they crit, right? So when you... This weapon normally does, this sword, so this sword does 2d6 of damage. I think this must be a bug, right? This weapon normally does 2d6 of damage. When I do a critical with it, it should do 6d6. Now, we saw the weapon do 4d6 of damage, a greatsword, or no, actually, I think it was the maul, but we saw an equivalent weapon do 4d6 of damage when used by Lizelle. But she doesn't have this ability that I do as an orc. As an orc, I have savage attacks, which gives me an extra dice of weapon damage. Oh, yeah, no, actually, that is exactly what we just saw. So we've done 5d6 of damage, not 6d6. Very interesting. All right. It is still... is it, though? I was going to say, it is still a better combination than if I was using... Let's say I was using a Great Axe, which does 1d12. The advantage of using the Great Sword is that because it's using 2 dice, if either or both of those dice roll a 1 or a 2, their rolls are redone, which means that effectively each dice does, in most situations, 3 to 6 damage rather than 1 to 6 damage. Now, we've just seen in this reroll, I think even here in this reroll, we have seen... Oh no, that re-rolled a 6, but we saw in a re-roll before that it rolled a 2, and then the re-roll was also a 2. So it is possible to still roll low. But what we've got here is each of the 6-sided dice are now effectively rolling 3 to 6 damage rather than 1 to 6 damage. And we're rolling a total of, it should be 6, but we're rolling 5d6 for damage when we get a critical hit with this weapon. So, that means a minimum of 15 to 30 points of damage, plus, other modifiers, plus 3 strength, etc., etc. So let's just ignore that and just go 15 to 30 points of damage. If I was using a Great Axe, that Great Axe would be doing 3d12 of damage. It would be doing 2d12 plus an extra d12. So that's actually 36 points as the high... What? Yes, so the upper damage is higher, 36, but the minimum damage is 9. So it's 9 to 36 rather than 15 to 30. I don't know. A part of me would prefer to have the 15 to 30 damage. I mean, you are going to do less than 15 sometimes, because we do know the reroll can... Whatever the reroll is, you have to take. So there are going to be some instances when you're going to do less. But on average, you're going to do 15 to 30 points of damage rather than 9 to 36. That extra 6 points that you could potentially be doing at the upper end, though, is really appealing. But is it better? Well, when you consider how often we crit, this build, if you take 3 levels of fighter, so you take your first 3 levels in Paladin, and then you take 3 levels of fighter. Actually, it doesn't matter. You can do it either way around. But once you get your 3rd level of fighter, you take champion as your subclass. You immediately get an ability which expands the crit range. So rather than only critting on a 20, which is 5% chance to crit, you're now critting on a 19 or 20, which is a 10% chance to crit. See, this is the thing. In a lot of other games that I've played and shown on the channel, the Pathfinder Kingmaker and Wrath of the Righteous, Neverwinter Nights 1 and 2, those sorts of games, there were a lot of different weapons available that had different crit ranges. So it was actually, like, the longsword was a 19 to 20. Most weapons were 20s, but then things like longsword were 19 to 20. But then you had things like the rapier, which was 18 to 20. As was the scimitar. And then you had a few that were outliers. There was a few weapons that were only critting on a 20, but they did triple damage rather than double damage. And then you had a few others. There was a couple of really special ones that would do like 19 to 20 crit with 3 times damage, or even 18 to 20 with 3 times damage. And you had similar feats that you can get here that would expand your crit range even further, and also expand the damage that you would do. So in those other games and those sorts of builds, you could get situations where you were critting 40% of the time, and you were doing 3 or even 5 times the weapon damage on a crit. You didn't often have... I don't think there was any situation where you had 40% crit chance and 5 times damage. It was normally 40% crit chance matched up with like 3 times damage. Maybe 4 if you had a really good weapon. So yeah, it's not... We're not critting as often here. I don't know. Having the crit on the low end is definitely nice.
These boots have seen everything.
I don't know which it's basically up to you. If you're watching this and you're wanting to have some idea as to which way you should go, that's the figures, right? At the moment we've got a 5% chance to crit. If we throw 3 levels of fighter in and choose champion, we'll have a 10% chance to crit on any given attack. If we crit and you're using a great sword or a great maul, you're going to do 5d6 worth of damage, and because and you have to be a half-orc to get the 5d6, otherwise it's 4d6. And because we have chosen the great weapon fighting style to go along with that, we're re-rolling any 1s and 2s that we've got. So effectively we're doing 15 to 30 damage on a crit. But if you pick any other race apart from Half-Orc, and for example this halfling and the dwarf that I've got, they're not going to get the extra 1d6. If they go down the great weapon fighting route, they're still going to get 3 times weapon damage, unless they pick great sword, in which they get 5d6 rather than 6d6. But you know, that's fine. Yeah, those are sort of your options. I'm getting lost as to where I was in that, but those are my options at the moment. Let's actually cure. Not enough movement. Can I lay hands? Not enough movement. You want to get up there and just thump the living daylights out of this guy. And this is why I love this weapon. The Maul and the Morning Star, and I think the Flail have the tenacity ability. I missed that roll. I don't think it even gave me the roll that I actually got on that. I rolled a 4, and with my proficiency and my strength, that gave me an 11, and I missed his armor class of 13. But I can use tenacity and deal an extra 3 bludgeoning damage anyway. Brilliant. Love it. Absolutely love it. Do I want to push this guy? Will that kill him? I don't know that I'll be able to push him all the way off everything, so I'm going to just leave that for the moment. Instead, I think I can't do any of those. I'm going to get you to dash up here and get right in this guy's face.
Shouldn't have made me your enemy.
Can't even catch my breath.
How about a Thundering Smite? $19 damage all up.
Still on my feet.
And you We'll do... Yeah, let's do a Wrathful Smite. And we missed. Damn it! He keeps trying to shove me, but he's just not strong enough to do anything.
Blood comes easy these days. Don't waste a step.
Time to push my luck again.
So close. Alright, let's move to there. And then... lay on hands.
Sometimes the only way out is through.
And there we go. So, what did we learn in that battle? We learnt that the two-handed sword and the maul, which Kurz is using, don't do as much damage as we had hoped. Very heavy great axe. You know what? I was just thinking I wouldn't mind using a great axe instead of this. Lower. Oh yes, of course it does. Lower damage at the front end. We'll see how we go. We've got to rescue this guy. Oh, this guy's still alive, I think. Yeah, look at that. The critical that we did there did 27 damage, 2d12, which we re-rolled one of those. So we rolled an 11 and a 10, and then we had one extra d12, the third d12 from our Orc heritage, was 2, plus our bonuses gave us 27. That was automatically a critical because he was stunned or whatever his condition was. He was prone in some way. So we get a automatic... Ooh, is that? No, it's a crude mace. I was wondering if that had tenacity. If it did, I was going to give it to the halfling or one of the other guys that are just doing one-handed weapons. I don't think I've looted... No, I have not looted that orc. Oh, that's fine. Wanted. Isn't he lucky it broke? It stopped exactly where it needed to for him to be down the bottom. Goblin scimitar and a goblin bow, eh?
me loose!
Yep.
Ugh. Maga Kamara. Those pustulant thugs. Well, get on with it. Whatever you are.
Get on with what?
You saved me, now you'll extort me. That's how this works, yes?
I'd rather know how you got caught.
My own fault, really. I should have dropped my pack and outrun those bastards. Alas. Take my pack, if you can find it. The only reason those goblins caught me was its weight. I'll travel lightly from now on.
We're a little far from home for a deep gnome.
Ignorance is alive and well, it seems. Deep gnomes aren't restricted to the Underdark, you know. I've lived in Baldur's Gate for years. I'm in search of a friend. I fear he's in trouble. See this? I gave it to him years ago before I left home. I found it around the neck of a thug in the lower city. It was speckled with blood. My friend, nowhere to be found. But I still have hope. I have reason to believe he's in the Underdark. Hopefully, I'll pick up his trail from there. I always help my friends. On that note, I bid thee farewell. If we should meet again, well, we will have met again.
Funny old fellow. Right. I think his pack is... Is that it over here somewhere? No? Because he does say if we should find his... Oh, there's a studded shield, so let's give that to you. Send all that to camp. Let's send that to camp. We really need to rest, but...
Might be useful.
Oh, no, that's...
This vessel is at thy disposal. Do what thou wilt.
That's a wicked thing to say.
I'll give it a shot.
Speedy light feet, medium armor. When the wearer dashes or takes a similar action during combat, they gain 3 lightning charges. What does that do? Lightning courses through you. You have a +1 to attack rolls and deal an additional 1 lightning damage. If you gain 5 charges, they are consumed the next time you deal damage, and you deal an additional 1d8 lightning damage. You lose 1 charge per turn. So just charge around the battlefield a lot. You can go to Eldra, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah.
Just another crate.
Rotten tomato, no thank you. There's his pack. Smoke powder. Damn it, I didn't want that. Tomato, let's drop that. Let's send that to the camp and that to the camp, because God knows what happens if someone attacks me and they go up in my bag. Why can't... Oh, there they are. Send to camp, so we're not carrying all of that again. Sacks. Yep, take all of that. Take that. That. I just wasn't sure, making sure there was nothing in it that we couldn't see until we broke it down. All right. Technically, we can take a short rest, but
I'll feel that one later.
it's not going to give me back my Divine Smite. We've only got... Okay. Forgot they were even there as abilities. Yeah, we need to rest. This is another thing. It was the I think it was the Fextra YouTube channel, which is based on this wiki that I go to a lot. Oh, I missed that goblin. Oh, and I missed that one somehow. Yeah, the video I watched,
please.
was explaining a whole bunch of things that a lot of people miss in the game and don't realise that you can do. And one of them, he said, was that people just don't realise how often you can rest. But I think that's the problem with the storyline of the game, right? You've got this tadpole in your head, and you're being told by every one of your companions and every person that you meet that tadpole's going to burrow into your brain and kill you, and it's only a matter of time. They say 7 days is it. So very early on in the game, it makes you think, I should not rest, ever. I should try and, use my short rest as much as possible. I should not ever do a long rest, because every time I do a long rest, there's more chance that I'm going to start seeing some of the symptoms.
One horn, the stink of Avernus, Advocatus Diaboli.
Well, I'll be God's damned. The Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you.
Karlach, the Archdevil Zariel's gladiator, come to burn the Sword Coast to ash.
You got it all wrong, Will. Karlach's not about to hurt anyone.
Well, not counting the fuckers that need a good hurting.
Shut it, devil. I know your kind. A heart darker than a shadow's nightmares. You'd cut a child's throat just to taste the blood.
A devil? I didn't take the blade for a fool. I'm...
A great fire roars through you. The fire of the first hell. You are Karlach, tearing through demons across a blood-red landscape of fire and volcanic cinder. The front lines of the Blood War. With every swing of her axe, Karlach fulfills Mistress Zariel's purpose.
Proof, clear as summer sky. It's over, Karlach. It's time you feel the sting of the blade.
I've tried to tell you. I'm not what you think I am.
Another vision. Karlach's blade rays slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes dart around, seeking escape. Will shudders with Karlach's desperation. She is a victim of the Blood War, not an agent of it.
By Balduran's helm, No, I will not be tricked.
You saw the truth. I may be an effective soldier, but I never wanted to serve Zariel. Legged it away from her the first chance I got.
And yet you served.
Okay, stand down. She's not a danger.
No! Devils cannot be trusted!
You're stubborn. She's not a devil and you know it.
Would you listen to sense? This doesn't have to end badly for either of us. You know monsters better than anyone. Can't you look in my eyes and see I'm not a devil?
You don't know what this means. You don't know what you're asking me to do.
I'm asking you to live, Will. I don't want to hurt you. And to be frank, I'd rather not find out how the blade got his name. I swear to you, on all I am not what you think.
Shit! Shit. You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Oh, thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt. But there have been enough threats today.
Truce then, eh?
Aye. Truce. I see the good in you, Karlach. I promise not to lose sight of it. Even when the hells burn hottest.
Well, that was quick, but I'm glad that that's how that worked out.
Glad Will saw sense. Even more glad he decided to stick around. Takes a pretty slick mover to track down old Karlach.
Glad he joined us, glad you could make peace.
Same. Now, instead of a liability, I've got a friend. Or I will have soon, anyway.
Right, has anybody else... You've got some stuff to say, Will. Let's talk to you. Gonna be honest, I don't really want to do all this talking.
You've been witness to a pantomime, I'm sorry to say. And I've played my part all too poorly.
What's that supposed to mean? Lay it out plainly, Will.
It means that a reckoning's coming. And I'll be the one to pay up. One night soon, when we make camp, the veil will be lifted, and I'll pay my penance.
Penance. Should I be worried?
You're not in any danger, I promise. I can't say the same about me.
This is the thing, right? This is the thing that does my head in just a little bit about the Warlock class. Everybody knows he's a Warlock. And everybody understands what that means. Right? And it doesn't matter, or at least that's what it seemed. It seemed like, okay, no one's out and said he's a Warlock, right? But I can hire an NPC who is a Warlock. What does he tell me when he joins the party? What does he say he is? What does Will do to explain some of his abilities on the front line? He's not a normal fighter, right? He's not just a swashbuckler. You know, he's got these abilities. Now, technically, I don't think when he was running the character, when we fought outside Emerald Glade, he only used, I think it's called the Arms of Hadar, which is one which stuns and freezes everybody in an area around him. I don't think he actually used Eldritch Blast. But you've got to imagine that, because this is supposed to be a couple of 100 years since Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. Neverwinter Nights 1 and 2 was set sort of early in that period as well, after Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, but I don't know exactly the time frame, but it's at least 100 years since those games were set. You've also got Sword Coast Frontier, the other game that I have played on this channel, which was based on the 4th edition D&D rules. So Neverwinter Nights 2 introduced the Warlock. Sword Coast, whatever it's called, Frontier or Sword Coast Adventures or whatever, that game, that also has the ability to play a Warlock. And you've got the ability here to be a Warlock. So, you know, Warlocks have been around for well over 100 years by this point. That means that most people who are adventurous in Faerun, particularly around the Sword Coast region, would know what a Warlock is. And they would understand that a Warlock is somebody who is granted powers by some thing. It's usually not a god. In this game, it can be ancient ones, it can be fae, or it can be devils. Will is under the control of a devil. I know that. It's sort of, you know, that much is given to you in the game just by looking at artwork and stuff like that. So it really shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. It would be a matter of, well, who's pulling his strings? Everyone would know that he's getting his powers from something that isn't like the normal, just gods, right? It's the Warlock class just seems really weird to me. I mean, I love the mechanic of it. I played it a lot in Neverwinter Nights 2. I thought it was a really interesting and new class, but it really doesn't make much sense because, frankly, nobody should trust you as a Warlock. Absolutely. Like, because they just don't know. And here's the thing. You as a Warlock don't really know who's pulling your strings, because it could be that devil Raphael, for example, but he could be pretending to be some great old one and providing you with these abilities. And great old ones, they don't necessarily, when people think of great old ones these days, because of everything, they think of, the cult of Cthulhu. And you've got these beings that are beyond time and space that do not comprehend us. We don't really comprehend them, but somehow we're doing their bidding. The Warlock just is really, really bizarre as far as I'm concerned. And I just do not know how it would work.
Thank goodness that's all dealt with. The odds are stacked high enough against us already. They'll need to turn on each other. That is most gratifying to hear. May I?
Actually, I don't want to give that away. That's the one that I want to give him. This amulet, this pendant that we picked up, this guidance cantrip, I do not remember exactly where we found it, but that guidance ability is really useful. If I give that to one of my companions to wear, that is that one that whenever you've got one of those interaction dice rolls to do, you often have the option to choose guidance. Now, if you've got Shadowheart in your party, it's a cantrip that she knows. But with this, that's a cantrip that whoever is wearing that necklace will know. And if we have...
Thank you.
I've never seen him do this before.
That hit the spot. I can feel it work. The magic, it's like a lullaby that sings to sleep the demon inside. A metaphorical demon, I haste to point out, but no less dangerous. And no less bound to wake up again to continue its ravages. Such is the nature of all monsters. Grateful as I am, the course of our camaraderie is much better served by not taking that particular detour. Sincerely, though. I understand I ask a lot from you with few answers in return. My lord, I bow.
Alright. So, I want to make sure that somebody uses... I think I had that tucked away in the traveler's chest. Definitely want that option. That item, I mean. Where was it? I don't see it there, so it was probably... Where is it? Sort by type. You don't have it. Oh, I'd given it to Will. Let's give it to Kurz for the moment. What's that? Excuse me. Thank you. Send to camp. I also want to get rid of all those. Alright, let's rest. That's the main reason we came here. Select some supplies for rest. Thank you very much. Oh, scratch. I should have... I think I've got a potion of... No, I guess I don't have a potion of... animals speaking at the moment. We must have used it up already. Thought I had one. Rail poison. What's in the pouch? Bottles and the salt.
Couple turns should do it.
Wow. There we go. A haste helm. Interesting. 51 gold. Oh, damn it, I hate that mechanic. Fix that. Please, Larian Studios. That is the most ridiculous thing ever. There's gold on the ground, I want it all. I don't want to pick up half of it. Crying out loud. That is just so ridiculously annoying. What does this do? At the start of combat, the wearer gains momentum for 3 turns. Spurred on by a sense of urgency, the affected entity's movement speed will be increased by 1.5 meters per remaining duration of the effect. Removed when restrained, incapacitated, prior to slowed down. Okay, well, I'm going to wear it. Might as well. And we'll give that to Brenna. Here we go. Does that have weight? It does. Not much, though. Can't imagine that 1,200 gold only weighs less than 1 pound, kilo, whatever. Either way, it doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. Send that to camp. I'm going to carry that everywhere. Alright. Let's get out of here. We've got another interesting battle ahead of us. Alright. There's the bridge there. That's the direction we need to be headed. Don't think there's a way... No, there's not a way out here. So, it's over that way. Which means we need to come down and go down this way. I think there's a hobgoblin or a bugbear or something. Just over there. Goblin tracker. Empty. No, that's not it. Someone said there was a button that you can hold down that highlights enemies, and I can't remember what it was. I thought it was tilde, but it's not. That highlights me. The other thing is that there's 3 ogres in there. I would love to kill them?
Looks empty.
Can't reach. Come on. What? Interface is a little bit clunky at times. I didn't actually want any of that. Picked it up by mistake. Yeah, I don't know that I really want to take on these ogres, but I also do want to take on these ogres. So, let's do that. Got a feeling this guy's going to attack us once we get
Haven't seen that
involved
game
with
in
this.
years.
Oh, yum.
Tastes like chicken. No chicken. Tastes like fish. Gentlemen, contain yourselves. This quarrel sours our feast. Besides, tastes like pork. And what surprise is this? Brothers, look here. I have eyed yet another prize. Fortune favors our bellies. Stranger, be you friend or food. The mark is her measure. Show us the brand of the absolute.
He is quite eloquent for an ogre. Let's try intimidation. Don't really want to pass this check, but let's see what happens.
Food? No, not food. Too tough for your digestion, I fear. Perhaps friend, then. Friend.
I notice you don't bear a brand of your own.
I've no use for the absolute, or any god. I follow two masters only, gluttony and greed. The goblins understand my appetites. They sate my hunger for gold, and the rest sate my hunger for meat. Boss goblin give gold, we check brand. Good deal. No talk.
I'm just going to attack.
Dinner time, boys.
Alrighty then. Tempted to try and go around this guy to attack Lump the Enlightened, but maybe I just make short work of this guy. Gargantuan Cleave. No, I don't think so. Where am I getting Bane from? I didn't think I had Bane. What? I just did a Thundering Smite, and it's letting me do another Divine Smite as part of it? How broken is that? I didn't realize I could do that.
Come on, can't stay idle.
So you can... Yeah, actually, it's not he's not technically an ogre mage, I don't think. Well, he sort of is. He's wearing an amulet of intellect. Or a headband of intellect or something. Going prone does... no, going prone doesn't provide an attack of opportunity, I don't think. Maybe it does. It doesn't say. But that could be it. Alright, I want you to get into the fray, but you're a little far away. I don't really want you to use your rush attack, but I guess
Another day,
it makes
another
sense to
fight.
do. And you missed. Damn it, he's prone. That should have been a critical hit, or at least... Actually, that rush attack, you had advantage on that, and you still missed. You didn't have advantage. You should have had advantage on that. Maybe rush attack doesn't... I don't know. Some of these rules sometimes. Let's do Pommel Strike instead. Okay. Didn't do a hell of a lot. And he's dazed as well now. Okay. You... Yes, use tenacity, please.
Nothing important is ever easy.
And you... There we go. He's dead. Very nice. I'm going to move these guys in,
Breathe
but
deep
they're
and
probably
move.
going to try and defend against that guy when he comes in the back door, if he does. What do we got? Compel Duel, Vow of Enmity.
Maybe I should... No, this is good.
Well,
Right.
so much for peace.
No room for you to get in there. But it's actually not a bad idea to get around behind him.
With haste.
comes easy these days.
Let's try... Let's try a Divine Smite. Missed the Searing Smite. Damn it.
I wonder if this is worth the cost. You shouldn't have made me your enemy.
There we go. That was a nice hit.
Nothing important is ever easy.
Want to get up on the same level because I had disadvantage
Well, so much for peace.
because I was lower than the half ogre or the ogre magi or whatever it was. No, I just don't like a lot of these extra features that the weapons have. Lacerate, bleeds for 2 turns. Bleed doesn't do much. 2 damage for 2 turns. Like, it's nothing. And sacrifice movement to deal an additional 3 damage with your melee weapon. No. Divine Smite. Thank you.
Another fight. Let's go.
That's an action. That's a bonus action. We are getting a little low on health. Oh no, we're fine. It's Eldra who's a little low on health. Let's just do a normal. Oh, almost got him. Let's do a pommel strike. That might even finish him off. Yes. No. Is he alive or is he dead? He's technically still alive. Alright. I've used up all my smites.
No choice but to keep going.
That's the problem with a paladin. You only have a limited number, and if you use them all up like I just did...
Another fight. Let's go.
It's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to finish him.
Another step forward.
Still breathing, despite everything. Light on my feet.
In a position to be able to heal Athos. And he needs it. That's a bonus action. There we go.
What now?
Let's get everybody down.
How much
here.
farther can
Out
I
of that
go?
asset, please. And let's short rest.
Time to get going.
Get ourselves some health back, but it's not getting us back. Our spell slots. So we sort of almost need to rest for the day again, just to get our spells back. A perception check that we passed over here earlier. I don't know whether it was perceiving the fact that Lump the Enlightened had a... Actually, examined. Is this... This just says he's a level 4 ogre. Great. He had increased damage. And tenacity. Didn't actually say he was an ogre magi.
Here goes nothing.
But, you know, he did have some spells there, so... Rotten tomatoes and rotten eggs, no thank you. Don't want either of those, don't want any of that. We didn't search Frank. He didn't have anything. What about that guy? A leather helmet and a scimitar. Camping supplies. Now I know technically you can go down the well, and I think in some of these buildings, underneath some of these buildings, there are some underground areas as well. One of them is the smithy, which I think is under this building, which it might actually be worthwhile going to, just so that I can potentially see. Well, maybe it isn't this one, because this is the apothecary.
Unless you like trap. Looking.
Yeah, no, it's not this one, it's the other building. There's lots of stuff I can search in here as well.
That's curious.
There's a lever there which moves this, I believe. I don't necessarily want to go through that, though. There's stuff here that leads into the Underdark. And that was one of the other things in the video that I saw. He mentioned he liked gold. Shouldn't he have a stash nearby? I don't remember there being a stash there, but... there's not really... Like, there's no underground to this building, I don't think. Not that I can remember. Whoop. That's not what we wanted. No. I don't know, there might be, I can't remember. We didn't find anything. What's through the shabby door? The shabby door just allows you to go out there. know, maybe there is something here, but we can't find it because we might have failed a check. What I want to do, though, is I want to go...
Look, don't talk.
Let's...
Garbage.
I could attack them. I probably should attack them because I'm the paladin and they're goblins. But I wanna do this because I have some ingots back in the camp. Okay, we can't lockpick that. We can't break it, I suppose is what I really meant. Skeleton there. What's the name?
Just another crate.
Bronze keg. I want a bronze keg and a spoon. Scrawny bugbear. $30 slashing damage. That is a really high roll. Oh. Morningstar. Tenacity. Give that to Rinna, I think. What does that do? Nothing. This is giving you intelligence of 17. We don't need it. I mean, sure, it would be nice to have because my intelligence is only 8. But there are much better things that I would rather be putting, because it has to go there. I would much rather have the helmet on. Don't need any of this on me. Right. No. I'm gonna go through there. Can't get there. Why can't I get there? Jump down. There we go. Trap on the chest. Add a bonus from guidance. Click blueprints. Been in here once before. I don't actually remember there being those weapons, to be honest. Stack of books, a bedroll, a shabby door. Don't pick up the bucket. remember there being, like, any more ingots and stuff in here. I also don't remember there not being anything in here.
Better take a closer look. Looks empty.
Trying to remember, I think there is an explosive barrel somewhere that I can use to blow that. Yeah, there's a smoke powder barrel right there. Problem is, I don't have anything to set it off with.
Come on, open up.
I didn't actually want to sit here and do this. I just was going to smash my way into it. Come on. That's right. So the blacksmith's note. This is a steel forged sword. It's a short sword. I think I'll just be selling that. Infernal iron. And a bunch of other junk. That, all of these. Send to camp. Color, silver. Gift from Redacted, faintly sulfuric odor, forging unsuccessful, will not melt or warp at standard temperature. Let's drop that. Go to camp. There should be a way to access your traveler's chest when you're out and about, so you don't have to go back to camp all the time. I want... Where is it? I have 2 silver ingots. I'm going to take the soul coins as well. I've got a funny feeling maybe you can do something with those. No, actually, I want those to me, thank you. Maybe I need tongs while I'm there. I got a hammer here somewhere, I think. Pick that up as well. Who knows? You might need them when you're trying to use the forge. I'm also like I'm thinking that it might be possible to smelt down some of these weapons to make other things. I don't know. Let's just grab a hand axe to take with us. And let's experiment with the furnace a little bit. So we have the melting furnace burning. We've got to put something in there. So what happens if I put a hand axe in there? We don't get anything. If I put silver in there, we don't have anything. If I put the infernal iron in there, we don't get anything. What does that even mean? Invalid combination.
Maybe I need more pockets.
Short sword over there. And there was a short sword there. All right there. Right over here. Actually, I wonder... could look up a wiki and see what you're supposed to do here. I'm going to give you that, wasn't I? There we go. Curious about that short sword we got. This one. We're going to take that. Is there anything else? Okay, this is insane, but we're going to do it. Where is it? I don't see it. There. Smoke powder satchel. No. Pick up. Where was it? Pick up. Pick up. So you're combining the melting furnace with something else. So what happens if we put that? Nothing. That? Nothing. It's a bit strange. Oh, I picked up and I'm using that weapon. I don't want to be using that weapon. If I put that in there. Nothing. Soul coin. Let's split that. Maybe it... split that. No. Alchemist's Fire. Big save, because this could kill us. Where was it?
First step is the hardest. There's still life left in this old thing?
I was hoping that maybe throwing the Alchemist's Fire in there would make it burn hotter, because it said about this stuff that I haven't actually examined this. This dented piece of black metal has a red shine to it no matter the lighting. Faint screams echo through your mind whenever you touch it. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's really nice. And then we've got a silver ingot. A small but heavy bar of untempered silver manufactured at the High House of Gond. Well,
There's still life left in this old thing?
I don't know. What am I supposed to combine here to get an effect? I would have thought that you could do something with the infernal iron, or you could do something with the ingot. You know, I thought maybe the soul stones were something that you could do with. I thought maybe you'd be able to smelt down items that you didn't want, and you could get metal out of them, and then you could make something later, but I guess not. And none of these other implements around here are usable. It's not like I can go to the anvil here and smack something out and produce something. don't need another shovel, I've already got one.
Just another crate.
Don't interact with the fire separately. No, I don't think so. I can't, like when I'm in the combine option here, so you click on that and it gives you this. You can't do anything with that fire. You can't click on it, you can't move it out of there. You can't change this at all. All you can do is put something there. You can't put anything there. And you click combine and that's all it lets you do. Like, the only option here is to use combine on the fire. The only option here is to use that. The only other thing that I have thought of is the note from the blacksmith. Forging unsuccessful. Will not melt or warp at standard temperature. So that's why I tried throwing the alchemist's fire in there to see if that lit it up more, and it didn't. In fact, it made it go out. My other thought is if I had somebody like Lazelle in my party who knows the Mage Hand cantrip, I wonder if there's some special interaction that if you use the Mage Hand cantrip on the bellows, it'll just sit there and pump them really, really, really fast. Because that's why I tried to pump it as fast as I could myself, to see if it would get the fire going. So let's just humour me on this, and let's just see if I add Lazelle to the party. Where is she? Where is she? Oh, all the way around here.
I need a quick word.
Gale is positive.
Join
The party's
me.
full. You'll need to make
room. You can just take Curz's place for the moment.
Well chosen.
So...
Oh, enough waiting. I crave blood.
Mage Hand. Cast it down. And then can the Mage Hand... It can't. I say use Mage Hand and it doesn't want to do anything. The mage hand spell is useless. I don't know why they implemented it. I have never been able to do anything useful with it. Like, I can't get it to pick up and throw things, which is something that you're supposed to be able to do. Okay, maybe it is semi-working in some situations. Everything I've tried to do with Mage Hand ultimately has ended up failing. It obviously has very limited strength, because it couldn't even pick up a stool. Oh, Mage Hand is gone now. Let's go back to camp and get my... I think you can attack with the Mage Hand, but it's like pitiful damage. Right? Because it's just it's a psionic hand. A normal person swinging a hand only does like 1d2 damage or something ridiculous like that. Even monks, when they first start off, only do like 1d4 of damage. So maybe the Mage Hand does that. I don't recall if it does, if it even does that. Like, I could be wrong. It is possible that it
This vessel is at thy disposal.
But the vessel only stares blankly. You'll need to make room.
This soul awaits.
Alright. Let me just make sure you're still set up properly, and you are. Let's move you back up to... Actually, no, let's keep you in the back. I think that's a better layout. And we really need to rest, even though...
Oh, cursed to put my hands on
it's
everything.
probably not the best idea in the world. Oh. What's going on now? Oh. Will's quest line.
Hellfire. She's coming.
Will, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
Gods damn it. Anyone but her.
Who in the hell are you?
Will, you absolute stinker. You kept me a secret? Time to let the Hellcat out of the bag. Call me Mizora. I'm Will's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Will. But Karlak's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlak, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless.
Karlak meets the criteria, pet. Trust me on this.
I don't know. The option... I'd like to say get to the point, Devil, but... I guess that's the best option out of all of them.
The point? Oh, yes. Thanks for the reminder.
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms.
Get used to the new form, pet. There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo. Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade.
Karlak, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you.
Oh, and Will, don't forget, our pact still stands. Ta-ta.
Okay.
What's up for discussion?
God's damn her, straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mazora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings.
Warlock pacts tend to be unforgiving from what you know of them. Will was lucky he didn't face a more severe punishment.
What did you expect? She's a devil.
All these years. You'd think it's a lesson I'd have well learned. It's Mazora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast.
How did you get involved?
The one little question that put me out of house and home. I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact. I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden, unless Mazora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mazora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word.
Right.
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Will hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that.
He's a good man.
You can say that again. When he was chasing me through Avernus, I thought he was just another sad merc. How wrong I was.
And I saw that someone down here wanted to speak. Shadowheart, what do you want?
Something's wrong. I feel... it hurts. Darkness, protect me.
Darkness protect? What do you mean by that?
It's difficult for me to talk about. I'm sorry.
Can I... Oh! So close to passing.
Stop! If I want to tell you something, fumble in my head.
Yeah, well, rightio. Okay. Now we can finally rest. I think I need... hang on. I need Will in my party.
Well met. I'd love to join, but I don't think there's enough space for me to squeeze in. Ready and willing.
Oh, you need to level up. Okay. thought he had the ability to talk to animals. I can't find it now. Maybe it's not one of these.
Defender of the people.
Yeah.
Look where Sure, why
Speak
not?
with Scratch and see what's going on.
Hope you're keeping well, friend. Master. Friend. I stayed with him until I knew he was gone. I'll never forget him. But I'm glad to have met you.
Alright.
No one back home will ever believe this.
You back in the party curse, and then we're gonna rest.
This vessel is at thy disposal.
But the vessel only stares blankly. You'll need to...
This soul.
Surprised we haven't triggered Starians. No, I said leave camp. Thank you. Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't triggered a Starians cutscene. Alright, enough playing around with this. I'm not interested in working out any more about that. We are in a bit of a problem though. I need to get out of here, and the only way out is through this door, and I don't know if I can pick this lock. Oh. Maybe I just pull the lever and it opens. That'd work. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Not too much more in this, I don't think. This episode, I mean. I don't remember that building being there.
Let's see what this does.
As you approach, a guttural scream and a succession of quick bangs rattle the door. Then, a low moan. Someone, or something, is having a bit of fun.
What the hell are you doing?
Didn't mean to interrupt.
Ruined. Smash! Oh, smash you!
Alright, that was different.
No time for mercy. I won't give in.
No choice but to keep going.
Ah.
Have to keep going.
Is that a crit? No, but it was a decent hit. That.
Still breathing, despite everything.
Can't even catch my breath.
Try me. Never thought I'd ever look in on a bugbear and an ogre.
Yeah, that was different. So that's what they're adding into games these days. Cupboard.
What's hiding here?
Doesn't look like you're going to loot the other
Looks
corpse because
empty.
he's stuck underneath the ogre's body.
Don't waste a step.
There we go. It's up this way.
A feast fit for an ogre. You notice a peculiar dagger protruding from the tough, leathery meat.
I wish there was a way to back out of this when you decide that I'm not going to make this roll. Because you can see what bonuses you've got when you mouse over the options in the chat.
The dagger is tightly embedded
But you
in
can't
the
see what
carcass.
the difficulty
You
roll
notice
is going to
nothing
be.
unusual.
That is tempting. Wouldn't it help? Yeah, let's do it. Even that's not going to be enough, I don't think. Oh yes, just enough.
You yank the dagger free, leaving a narrow slit behind.
And it's just a dagger +1. Really? All of that just for a dagger +1? I thought it was going to be something a little bit more exotic than that. Come on. What? Oh, what is going on with this stupid interface? Fine. Whatever. I don't really care. I don't want that on me. Send to camp. Right. Survival failed, hey? Is there a, there's something to dig around here.
No use digging here.
No. I don't care. What can we do about this bridge?
Something over there.
Where? Something over where? Oh, the dirt
Seems
mound.
simple enough.
I thought this was the gate leading into the keep, where the druid is. But I guess not. It must be further around that way. Or is it down this way? Let's just fast travel back into the Mighty's village for a sec. Make sure we're not going the wrong way. This does feel like more like the way I'm supposed to be going, but I'm not entirely sure. Goblin King.
Goblins ahead.
Look it, Claw. Sapper's here. Unless you got another reason to be here. Fexite.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
I really don't want to do that. I mean, I said I wanted to try all these Ithalid things to see what they do, but I just want to attack. Sentinel, warrior, tracker, 10, 10, 18, 15, 4, 4.
Let's get this over with.
You idiot!
What have we got? Compelled Jewel, Vow of Enmity.
Never a dull moment. Best be on my way.
Let's have a little.
Oh, I missed that guy up there.
Have them ready.
Alright, let's cast Sanctuary. Me, so I don't get overwhelmed by being surrounded.
Survival is all that matters. Need to find a way forward.
do have ranged. It's worth a chance because if it hit him, he was pretty well guaranteed to be dead. He's only got 4 hit points.
Nothing will stand in my way.
Cover me! I'm going for the alarm!
There's an alarm.
You picked the wrong fight, friend.
Can't even catch my breath. Fall by my hand. Breathe deep and move.
That should stop him from attacking. Hopefully stop him from ringing the alarm.
Where do I go from here?
But of course.
Time for some bloody work.
Okay, that didn't work.
No choice but to keep going. These boots have seen everything.
Yeah. Well, maybe, maybe not. I do like the compelled duel because it does give you the ability to make sure that if they're going to attack anyone, it's going to be you. But it obviously doesn't force them to attack. It just says they're not going to attack anybody else. That's fine. It's just calling up a few others from up there, and that's not a problem because we can just
fall by my hand.
Move our tanks. What? You didn't have to swing at anything. There was nothing to swing at.
Another step forward.
Never a dull moment. Can't slow down. Don't waste a step.
I wonder if this is worth the cost.
Concentration broken, that's good.
Don't waste a
Forward.
step.
best be on my way.
Well, so much for peace. Think you can take me on? Another step forward.
I was hoping I could jump across there, but I don't think I can.
Another step forward.
What do I have to lose?
Where do I go from here? Don't waste a step.
This goblin, novice of the Absolute, is slightly drunk. Interesting. Can I jump across to there? I can. Somehow, I just made that impossible leap. Let's use my dash to get right up in there. Probably should have used my bonus action to heal myself a little bit, but I think I will be fine.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
Need to find a way forward.
I wonder if this is worth the cost. Another day, another fight.
Death won't take me yet.
Ah, that's the bridge I was thinking of. I don't remember the layout of this. I've only done this part of the
What's inside?
game maybe once before.
What's in here?
Why would I want to smash fire wine barrels? Wonder what's up that way. Right, let's search the rest of the bodies in this little section here. Search that one, we've searched that one. Yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Like, most of the voice acting in this game isn't too bad. But, they're really not as well done as they could be. Like, the NPCs are fine, but the game gives you a total of 8 voices for your character. 4 male, 4 female. And quite frankly, I can barely tell them apart. They all sound so similar to each other. And if you remember other games like, well, the Pathfinder, Kingmaker, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, Neverwinter Nights 1 and 2, you know, the staples that I mention all the time.
Light on my feet.
In those games, there was so many different voice options. You had, you know, really gruff voices, really high-pitched voices. Traps leading to whatever's around here. Webs and a standing torch, and this hole that goes who knows where. Yeah, I'm just really, really disappointed with the, particularly the character voices in this. It's terrible. Like, it feels like they just phoned it in. It really does. I don't remember the other Larian Studios games. Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2. I've played a little bit of 1 and a tiny little bit of 2. And I don't remember the character creation there, but I feel like if you did have a voice to your character in there, I felt like there were more options than there are in this. This just doesn't feel... It just does not feel right. Let's actually get,
No one back
say,
home will ever
you
believe this.
to lay on hands on me, please. Very good. And why don't we get
Looking ahead.
you to do it as well? Just to get my health back to full.
All right. What now? On my way.
I am debating whether to continue this playthrough or to stop here. I want to do the playthrough that I've really wanted to do since I started this was not this. This playthrough of the DPS Paladin was just to see what was going to happen with this combination of Half-Orc, Paladin, with great weapon fighting and how well you could set up critical hits, and how much damage you could actually do with a critical, particularly when you have a critical and then you put a Divine Smite on top of it, etc., etc. And we've sort of answered the questions we had about how the savage attack that the orcs have works. Unfortunately, it's a little bit, in my opinion, it's bugged on greatswords and mauls, which do 2d6 rather than 1d12 or 1d10 of damage. And rather than you ultimately doing 6d6 of damage, you actually only do 5d6 because it just adds one extra d6, which makes no sense at all. But the rule does say you deal an extra dice of weapon damage. The problem is that most weapons only have a single dice of damage. You know, this axe, for example, does 1d12. But because the greatsword and the maul both use 2d6, it just adds one more d6 on, rather than two more d6, which is sort of what you would expect it to do. It is essentially doing what some of the other game mechanics in previous games did, where you would increase the crit range of the weapon from 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or whatever it was. But it just doesn't do that the way you expect it for those particular weapons that do multiple dice of damage. And it's really just those two weapons as far as I can remember. So it's sort of, yeah, I've worked that out. That works well. I understand how that all works now. There is some weird stuff going on with Divine Smites. I don't know what happened with that fight with the ogres, why I ended up getting 2 smites in one attack. I suspect it was because I had chosen these options here. So you don't have this reaction is to say, well, you've made a hit. You've hit your opponent. Do you want to add a Divine Smite to it? And I think maybe that's bugged because I chose to use one of my special Divine Smites, Wrathful or Searing or Thundering. And that attack hit, and then it came up and said, do you want to use Divine Smite as well? And I don't think it's supposed to do that. It's not supposed to be that you can do that as a reaction. The reaction is just an option that allows you to say, well, because it's sort of a thing in 5th edition D&D that you can say, well, some of these abilities that can be used in combat, you can decide after you've rolled and actually hit whether you want to use them or not. And that's what Divine Smite is, and that's what that option is that I've turned on. By default, it's one that you don't actually normally turn on, the reaction one. But I think it might be bugged that it does that. It's a good thing that it does if you want to spend that extra smite and do that. That's great, but you've got to have the slots for it. And this is the thing, we're a 3rd level paladin. We've only got 3 slots. That uses up 2 of my slots in a single attack. I can't then do Divine Smite later. But we are doing a ton of damage when we do Divine Smites. I don't know if I can scroll back far enough to see any of them, but, you know, we're doing... we're doing, you know, 1d12 plus 6, which is my normal smashing damage, plus an extra 2d8 of radiant damage, and then it would be an extra 1d8 of radiant damage if they were fiends or undead. That is a lot for a Divine Smite. So this is, when you hit, it is really good. If you can put that on top of a critical, which one of these, so Divine Smite on criticals turned on, you really want to turn that on. That is super powerful as well. For this build, if there's any items that you can find that increase your spell slots as a paladin, you should really go for that. And look, I'm playing on the easiest difficulty level, so this is not all of that difficult for me to get through. And playing as 4 paladins, yeah, it is a pretty powerful combination, but it's not what I really wanted to do. What I wanted to do, and what I think the next stream is going to be, which might be in a couple of hours or it might be tomorrow, I haven't decided yet, but the next stream, I think, is definitely going to be my rogue playthrough. And what I want to do is Deep Gnome rogues, yeah, are good, if that's what you're asking, but I think Lightfoot Halfling rogues are better, and I'll show you that if I go and have a look at
No time to rest.
Brynna here, because the Halfling luck, getting the +1, getting the ability to re-roll if you roll a 1 on attack rolls, ability checks, or saving throws, as well as having the natural stealthy, is really, really good. Naturally stealthy is what you also get as a Deep Gnome. The other feature that the Deep Gnomes have is 12-meter infravision, dark vision. 24 meter, which is good because that allows you to snipe at anything in the dark. But I'm willing to give that up to play, well, what I might do, because what my plan is play as a rogue, halfling rogue, get a Starian in my party ASAP, of course. I'm not sure who else I will have early on, but we're going to be sneaking a lot because that's the whole point of it. And as soon as we get to level 3, we go down the assassin route. For me, Astarion can be a arcane trickster if he wants to. I'm not going to change that. But then I'm going to do the same thing that I've done here. I'm going to pick up 3 hirelings, and I'm going to convert them all to assassin rogues. And we are going to sneak around and just destroy everything. And I want to see, like, how many sort of combats I can do where the opponents just don't even know I'm there, and my entire party of, I'm going to have Medela, or whatever her name is, that other rogue hireling. She's going to be in my party. There's no reason not to have her. But I'm also going to hire the Deep Gnome, who I think is a warlock, and I'm going to respec them as a rogue. And then, I don't know, I probably won't go... Actually, what I'll do is... I can't remember, I think there's a Wood Elf. Wood Elves would make good rogues as well, because the Wood Elf has the most movement speed of anybody. And so, in combat, if you end up in a bad situation and you want to get the hell out of there, a Wood Elf would be really good at that. But I think I'm going to talk more about that in the next stream when we start that playthrough and basically do it. No, I don't like playing evil. I'm very over this whole thing. Like, I would like... I've said this before in other streams. I would like to be able to play a game like this, a AAA role-playing game, where I don't have this party full of people that I have to... I want someone who just... I find them out in the middle of nowhere, you say, g'day to them, and they say, hello, and you say, who are you? And they say, I'm Joe Smith, I'm a fighter, cleric, whatever, I don't care. But they are just a good person who wants to help. They have... Like, I don't want to have to go through massive backstories of all of my characters. I'm not looking for that. I want the main story to be the interesting part. I can understand that this seems to be the thing that everyone wants to do these days, but I don't. I don't want the main story to have to go through. Like, I want to just go through the main storyline and that's it. I don't want characters who are evil or morally ambiguous in my party. I want just a party full of good characters who are all trying to help. My character has enough incentive to want to fix things. Why do I have to have, the little goth girl who worships the evil goddess, who's trying to bring her artifact back to her? I've got the little vampire boy who... I don't know what else. I think he just wants to get revenge on the guy who's kept him as a slave for the last 200 years. You've got... here's the thing. This game doesn't have... this game does not have... alignments. So at nowhere here will it actually tell you that, your character or any character is... neutral good, chaotic evil, whatever. You don't have that, right? And in a way, I applaud them for going down that route. But it's also pretty obvious when you go across all of the characters, what they are and who they are. But if you go to the Forgotten Realms wiki, every one of these characters has an entry in the Forgotten Realms wiki, and someone, I'm just going to assume it's official, but somebody has basically given them all alignments and said, you know, Gale, what would you think Gale is? Any guesses? Yes, alignment was always a hallmark of D&D, and Larian chose, for whatever reason, not to include it. So, you know, Astarion, I think, was chaotic neutral, if I remember right. Lizelle is lawful neutral. Karlach is chaotic good or neutral good. Shadowheart is another... I think she's lawful neutral. No, Lizelle is lawful evil. Sorry. Shadowheart is lawful good. Oh, sorry, lawful neutral. Will appears good. Yeah, Will is chaotic good or neutral good. Gale is the interesting one. I would have thought Gale was marked as good, like neutral good, but he's true neutral, which I felt was a little strange. But yeah, you know, you've got half of your party. Karlach and Will are the only members of your party initially that are actually good. Astarion, I can't remember if he was neutral or evil. Shadowheart is neutral. Lizelle is evil. Yeah, it's just... Like, I liked Baldur's Gate 1 because it was very obvious out of all your companions who was evil and who wasn't. But on top of all of that, when you got introduced to your character, to your companions, you had Khalid and Jahir. When you got introduced to them, they had no side quest. They were just old friends of your father, Gorion, and they wanted to help. You had, what's his name? The Paladin. I keep, now Astarion is popping in my head, but I can't think of the name of the Paladin at the moment. You had the Paladin who was just north of the Friendly Arm Inn. He didn't have a quest. He just wanted to get rid of the bandits in the area. And while, you know, if you didn't go after the bandits, if you went and did other stuff, he would complain. And same as Khalid and Jahir, if you didn't head down to Nashkel, they would start to complain and eventually leave. They didn't have this massive convoluted quest line that you had to go through. The only NPC that you could bring into your party, a Juntus, yes, very good. The only NPC that you could bring into your party that had, like, an actual quest line was, Minsk. And he just wanted you to rescue Dynahair, which you wanted to do anyway if you knew anything, because she's a pretty good mage to have in your party if you're not already got one. So,
with haste,
I want those days to be back in these sorts of games. I don't want to have, like, the next time I sleep, Astarion's going to try and bite me on the neck while I'm asleep, and I'm going to have to go through all of that junk. I don't want all that. I'm not interested in all that. I just want these to be people who are going to help me do the main quest line, and not, you know, try and kill me in my sleep, or sell my soul to some, you know, demon or devil or whatever. I don't get it. I just want it to be simple. Put all of that other stuff that you would normally do, that is all of these little side quests for the companions, put all that effort into either the main quest line or just other side quests for other people that you see around that are entirely optional. The biggest problem I had with Pathfinder Kingmaker, and the reason why I have never finished that game, is because at some point the main quest line stops you from doing the main quest line and says, you now have to go and find something else to do for 6 months of game time. And it's like, what? I just want to do the main quest line. I'm not interested in all the other junk. But you can't. It forces you to go and do something else for a while. And it's just like, no, I want to do the main quest line. So yeah, I don't want to have relationships with all of my companions. I don't want to have them have all of these ridiculous quests. I don't mind, like, I didn't mind Minsk having to rescue Dinah Hair. That was nice. Simple little quest, rescue one person. They both then, Minsk joins your party if you say you'll rescue her. Go and rescue her. She joins your party as well. Okay, that's it. And maybe one or two NPCs that turn out to be, working against you as a surprise every other game or something like that. But this whole thing of I am being forced to take evil party members with me, I don't get it. I don't want it. I just want to play the game and not have these massive companion quest lines that I have to do. Anyway, yeah, hunting trolls with the ranger. That was a simple little quest. Do it. He's done. He's happy. End of his quest line, and that's it. That's enough. And not every companion has to have that, right? Just a couple of the companions that you could possibly have a little quest associated with them, and I'm fine with that. Not this stuff. Not I've got to help her with a thing that's going to explode in her chest. I've got to help him with his devil. That, of course he's got a devil. He's a bloody warlock, for crying out loud. He's got something that's giving him those powers, and if he pisses them off, yes, he's going to be in trouble. He's got something that's going to blow up in his chest. Quite frankly, I feel like walking away and letting these two just blow up. And just my only goal is keep them away from Baldur's Gate so they don't destroy the goddamn city. This guy wants to feed on me. I'm going to stake him at the first chance I can. Because I just, no. She, little goth girl who, I think, I've not actually done this, and I hope this isn't a spoiler. This is my guess. I haven't actually looked into her history at all. But I got a funny feeling she used to be a priestess of Saloon, and now she's a priestess of Shah. I don't know. There's just something about her that makes me think that. But I don't want that. That's the other thing in these games. Neverwinter Nights 2, no, Baldur's Gate, I wasn't thinking of. There's another game I'm thinking of, where you just don't seem to get decent healers who want to join your party. And she, frankly, isn't a decent healer. The trickery domain that she's got really doesn't lend itself to healing. But anyway, I'm rambling. That's enough for this episode. I think the next episode, and as I said, I'm unsure if I'm going to stream again tonight or if I'm going to come back and do this tomorrow, but we're going to come back and we're going to start the Halfling Sneak Attack Assassin playthrough, and we are just going to wreck absolutely everything. So I hope everyone has enjoyed this. I've had fun. I think the Paladins are a nice, high DPS and fairly easy class to play. But I think the rogues are going to be even more fun. Thank you, everyone, and I will catch you later. Bye now.